But Worcester institution, we're going to talk about in our next segment, is WICN Public Radio, and Amanda Carr is with us, who is the fairly new executive director of WICN.
I am. I came on board June 1st, and I'm also new to Worcester, so there's a lot to absorb. But
you're a smart woman in the sense you said you're new to Worcester. WICN has become a chamber member business, and we want to thank you for that, but also give you an opportunity to kind of talk about WICN, which has been here and NPR affiliate, and maybe just talk about the station and I think people maybe think jazz, but there's a lot more than that.
Yeah, exactly. We're like Charter 3, you kind of hide in plain sight to some people that aren't aware of what it has to offer. WICN stands for Worcester Intercollegiate College Network. It started almost 50 years ago at Holy Cross, and then it kind of was connected with WPI, and that's how they communicated it. And in the 80s, it became a public radio station and also an NPR affiliate. We do the news at the top of the hour, and people have learned to depend on that. Our programming is basically jazz-based, but it's branched out, of course, as you want to maintain we're member-supported, so we have 4 fund drives a year, just like WGBH or BUR, and it's member-supported primarily. 52% of the income that keeps the station going on the programming funded is through members. But what we offer, not only jazz programming, but roots and soul, and we've got some great shows. They're all live hosted shows, most of them, except for our overnight. And what that allows us to do is develop a relationship with our listeners. And it's over 40,000 listeners terrestrially. And now, of course, with radio stations, with their apps, we have an app. And online, we're globally. You can listen
anywhere around the world.
Exactly. So we have fans around the world. And it's rare that a radio station like this exists on its own. Meaning a lot of these stations, like if you listen to ERS, it's part of a school or a university. So it's well funded on all levels. But to be a freestanding public radio station, Worcester really has a gem in its midst. And some of the businesses that underwrite with us, which is another way of saying advertising, being a public radio station, we have a little bit of a different vocabulary. But basically what it is you get your message out to listeners that are loyal to the station, and therefore your message is heard, and it's not in the plethora of other commercials and that some of the commercial stations have. And because we have loyal listeners, they tend to be loyal to the people that underwrite or the businesses that underwrite with us. So for example, like a Polar or Westboro Toyota, they've understood the value of underwriting with us, and they've been longtime underwriters.
And the other piece, WICN Radio, right in downtown, part of in the theater district on Portland Street, first floor, the Davis family, Wyatt Wade. People might know it's the old, Davis Printing.
It's got the big Davis sign up there. It's the coolest sign up there too.
But right in the heart of kind of growing activity in the downtown.
Yeah, it's really great. Since I've come on board, I'm automatically a networker anyway, but I love the partnerships and the works with. And so being part of the theater district, we've already worked with Hanover Theater on a very successful joint venture on a concert that used to be at the Ecotarium that we urbanized and brought into this huge parking lot area behind Hanover and in front of us. And just a really great neighborhood work with the theater district businesses. And as you mentioned, it's a great building to be in because there's a lot of like artsy and cultural types of tenants in there. So we just find that, or I find that being new to Worcester, there's a fantastic work with everybody. People that look for ways that they can partner together for events or just doing business or getting the word out. I found that to be true.
And so, 6 months, it was 6 months.
Not even.
You're not from Worcester, you come in, but it sounds, both at the station and kind of learning quickly its relationships, its history, engaging and business community through the chamber. Where is it that you kind of want to take the station and working together with the board and kind of raising that awareness?
I have a very different perspective, and I think that's one of the reasons why they hired me, or asked me to come on board, I should say, is that I don't come from another not-for-profit, and we are a not-for-profit radio station. and I don't come from another radio station in the capacity that I am now. I'm actually an artist that was known as a jazz artist. They gave me my first interview 5 albums ago, about 20 years ago. So I have a love and a passion for the station, and I realize how important it is to have something like this in the community.
Right.
It really does culturally enrich the community. So what they are hoping that I will do is get this radio station more into the community.
And I probably should have said at the outset, you're on the FM dial at
90.5, thank you.
90.5.
I should have said that at the outset. 90.5 FM, and then online or download the app is WICN.org. It's a .org. And you can listen online or download the app on Android or Apple at WICN Public Radio. It's pretty easy to find. But we have a really great performance hall, and although it doesn't hold a huge number of people, what I'm doing is just want to make us more of a mecca of things to do at the station. Recently we had a professor from Jazz at Lincoln Center who's doing a Jazz 101 course for 8 weeks, and it's packed, and he's riveting. Just for people that say, hey, you know, I listen to jazz, but I want to know a little bit more about it. It's a big umbrella. So that's been fun to have. I want to have movie night. I want to have, we're putting in a recording studio. That's one of my first projects, is completing a recording studio so that there's a reason to have connection with the local area schools to come in and record, maybe rebroadcast some of the concerts that we record, or have a place for kids and students to learn how to edit and learn more about music, and be just more of a community-based.
And that, you know, and that's, I think, people are looking for kind of new, different experiences, and having this resource and expanding it and letting people access it, I think, generates an excitement. You know, we all have our morning habits. Eric's La Patisserie, which is a local chamber member coffee shop, he's a big jazz guy, so he's got you playing every morning. But, you know, again, creating that interface and experience in the middle of the theater district, a great idea.
Yeah, and it really feels natural. I mean, this is a natural extension. People say, what's your vision for the station? And to me, my vision seems to just make perfect, kind of common sense to do that.
Well, good stuff. We appreciate you coming on, Amanda, and keeping us updated. We look forward to working with you and WICN and helping continue the momentum in the city, and arts and cultural scenes and organizations are a big part of that, and you're certainly one of them.
Thank you, Tim. I'll see you at the next chamber meeting.
Yes.